Hello, and today I would like to show you how to RBD fracture a object that's hidden inside another object, if that makes sense. This method or concept is very simple, so it's mostly beneficial for beginners, but I still think it's an interesting concept. So uh, I'll recreate this all here, step by step. So I create a sphere. I'll copy the sphere, and I'll change this to polygon and set the frequency to 10. Then what I have here is just a picket where I'm match sizing it to be laying on the Y plane or on the global plane. And then what I'm doing, I'm using the extract centroid node where if you set this on detail, it will give me a single point which represents the centroid. And then what I can do is do a copy to point and copy my sphere directly onto that centroid. So what that does is that right now, uh, or currently, because of that, my sphere is being moved to be centered in our center of our picket. So that's exactly what I needed. And now I want to create. Right now the sphere is empty. If I create a clip, our sphere is empty, like there's nothing inside, and I want to create the outline of a picket inside. So I can use a Boolean, just like that, a Boolean. And now if I visualize it, we can see that we have a picket inside. And what I can do is right now, this is going to be our first piece, our picket here. So first piece, and now we want to Voronoi fracture this sphere here. So I'm gonna take a ISO offset here to create a volume where I can scatter my points. So scatter. I'll be scattering somewhere around 7 points, and I'll be using a Voronoi fracture to fracture this. First input is the geometry, and second are the points. And now if I explode view, we can see that we have a Voronoi fractured object. Currently, I don't want to keep any of the attributes, so I'll delete attribute and I'll delete everything. And now I want to merge those two here. Of course, if you want to create the outlying object to have different attributes than the big head itself, then you shouldn't merge them, or you should create the attributes before you're merging them. But in this case, I want the big head here to have the same attributes inside the simulation as my RBD sphere. So what I want to do now is create a connectivity swap, because currently we do not have a piece attribute or anything like that. Also, what I could do is group delete. I don't need any groups here, just to make this cleaner, as you can see. And connectivity gives me a class attribute. I can set this to primitive. And then what I can do is assemble. Actually, I probably don't even need that connectivity. My bad. And I can set here to create a name attribute, which will do the same as the connectivity would do. So random on primitive and name. And if I explode view this, we can see that it gives a random color based on the name. So the last thing here is I'll copy this transform, which is just moving my object up. In here, I'm not actually packing the geometry, so I'm not creating packed primitives. And I want to copy this RBD solver, or I can create a new one, RBD solver. And inside, we can see that our ball is falling, but we need to create a ground plane. So let's go inside the collisions, ground plane. And now if I run this, it should do the same thing as I shown at the beginning. So I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you again. Bye bye.